Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss on the topic Gift of India, which is composed by Sarojini Naidu. So here I begin, and before that let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you have not subscribed up till now, then please do and watch the video till end and press the like button if you have liked my video. So let us start the poem Gift of India, composed by Sarojini Naidu for my ISC students. This poem was written in 1915 when the First World War had started. This is a patriotic poem. This is a story which has its place in history. So you should be able to connect it with the happening in the world and in India, pre-independence India at that time. So you need to understand a bit of history which we are all familiar of having done with all the as part of the history syllabus in class 10th. The ICSE stream in particular. This poem, written in 1915, is both a celebration, also a commentary on India's participation in the war, that is, India's forcible participation in the war. Sarojini Naidu was a great patriot, freedom fighter, and a poet of modern India. Sarojini Naidu was known as the Nightingale of India. Later, it was Lata Mangeshkar. But why was she called Nightingale of India? She was a very versatile poet. She wrote many poems, and one of them you read in class 10, The Bangle Sellers. Apart from that, there is Bazaar of Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a city in which she has major association with her home. The Golden Threshold is still here in the prominent part of Hyderabad. The Palanquin Barrier, another poem written by Sarojini Naidu. This gift of India, the speaker is Mother India. It is a patriotic poem. Her poems speaks about the beauty and variety of India and its traditions. In this poem, the poet is trying to arouse pride and patriotism in the hearts of her countrymen. So, the background is the First World War, 1914 to 1918, and during that time, the Britishers were the rulers. So, they had deployed many Indian soldiers in many parts of the world to participate in First World War. This poem talks about how Indians sacrificed their life fighting for the British because India was still a colony in 1915. Colony means under the rule of Britishers. It talks about how Mother India sons were martyred in the theatre of war, fighting in alien lands, not in India. The title Gift of India itself makes it clear what Sarojini Naidu actually believes in. Believes that India, by sending her soldiers, her sons to fight for Great Britain during the war, was actually giving a gift to the British. That is why the title is called The Gift of India. So remembering their heroism, remembering their sacrifice, Sarojini Naidu has written this poem as nearly 75,000 soldiers had sacrificed their life in the battlefield. This poem is an elegy, a tribute to thousands of Indian soldiers who laid down their lives during the First World War. It is a reminder to all of us that we should recognize and honor the sacrifices made by brave Indian soldiers in forgotten lands, in forgotten wars. Now let us start with the explanation of the poem. And the lines are, is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Where is there aught you need is personification. Rich gifts of raiment or grain of gold? Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures torn from my breast. Priceless treasure, this is again metaphor plus personification. This figure of speech has been used by the poet. And Yildiz, the son of my stricken womb, to drumbeat of duty, the sabers of doom. So in this stanza, the poet has used the rhyming scheme of AA, BB, CC. Now the explanation of the first stanza. In this stanza, is there aught you need that my hand withhold rich gifts of raiment or grain of gold? So this is a rhetoric question. Here Mother India is really not asking for any answer. It means that my hand has not withhold anything, whether it is rich raiment, where raiment means dresses, or grain of gold. So India being a very rich country, material wise, a very prosperous country, that is what had attracted the foreign traders to come and trade here. And after that, the policy of imperialism started. And finally, the Britishers were the winners and they took control. So that is why what she is asking, that is Mother India is asking, is there aught you need that my hand withheld, rich gift of raiment or grain of gold? Here it is a sense of pride which we can feel that we were rich in the yesteryears. So she is asking if there are any more sacrifices left for her to make. She has given the world the rich gifts of cloth, food grains, and precious things like gold. Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures drawn from my breast. Through this line, we come to know that apart from giving materialistic things, she has given away her priceless treasures, that is, the Indian soldiers, to the eastern and western countries. So these lines refer to her children, the Indians, the Indian soldier, and the mother, her sons, are the priceless treasures taken away from her breast, snatched from her breast. Priceless treasure is a metaphor for the priceless lines of Indian soldier. The line, and yielded on the sons of my stricken womb, to the drumbeat of duty, the sabre of doom. In these lines, Mother India says that she has given up the sons born out of her womb to serve the British case in the First World War. Her brave offsprings have often been summoned abroad to the call of duty. So the line, and yielded on the sons of my stricken womb, means the mother, she bears the children in her womb. To the drum beats of duty, the sabre of doom, means that she has given her sons to go and join the war. It is his duty. She has allowed her sons to go and fight for her rulers. The sabre of doom, where sabre is a weapon with which you fight. The sabre of doom, where doom it refers to death. So she has sent her sons, that is the youth, the Indian soldiers of her land, to fight someone else's war in distant battleground. Under the British rule, India was exploited for its riches and resources. So the poet acknowledges this fact and homage for these Indian soldiers. The word sabre of doom represents the nature of war and devastation it leaves. Now the second stanza, and the lines are gathered like pearls in their alien graves, where gathered like pearls is a simile. Silent they sleep with the Persian waves, where silent they sleep is an alliteration. Scattered like shells of Egyptian land, where scattered like shells is simile plus alliteration is also used here. They lie with pale brows and brave, broken hands. They are strew like blossoms. Strew like blossoms is a simile, moored on their chance, on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders and France. Now the explanation of the second stanza. In this stanza, Mother India shows the sacrifice of the Indian soldiers from a different angle. Gathered like pearls in their alien graves means alien refers to the Indian soldiers who had been deployed to the various parts of the world. So the soil where they are lying is alien or foreign country. So she means Mother India, laments the loss of the lives of her beloved sons, that is, the Indian soldiers who were sent to the foreign countries by the Britishers to fight for them. So just observe the simile, gathered like pearls. So the soldiers who were lying dead on the battlefield, they are being referred to as pearls. Silent they sleep with the Persian waves. So they had been sent to various places to fight, be it Persia, scattered like shells on Egyptian sands. So they are lying all over the Egyptian deserts. Egyptian sand refers to the Egyptian deserts where war has taken place. They lie with pale brows and brave broken hands, intensifies the image of death and devastation. They lie with pale, where pale is a symbolic of death. So their brows look pale because they are dead. Blood has left their face. There is no sign of any redness in their face because they are dead. And brave broken hands. Brave broken because they have fought very bravely with their might. Broken hands because they cannot fight anymore because they are dead. They are strewn like blossoms mowed down by chance. Where blossoms are flowers, mowed down by chance means destroyed or killed indiscriminately or in great numbers as troops in battle. So here the soldiers are referred to as flowers on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders and France. Why is the meadow referred to as blood brown? Actually, brown is the color of the soil and blood means that the blood of the soldiers who died fighting. So they lie fighting on the meadows of Flanders and France, where Flanders is a place in Belgium. So which all places the Indian soldiers were sent by the Britishers to fight in World War I? They were Persia, which is now called Iran, Egypt, Flanders, in Belgium and France. So these soldiers never came back home again, and like pearls, the lifeless soldiers lie buried in graves in foreign lands. Some of them slept silently along the shores of Persia. Some were scattered like broken shells on Egyptian sands, and others brave soldiers with pale brows and broken hands lie scattered like flowers on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders in Belgium and France. The field was colored by their blood, which means the soldiers were bleeding a lot. These dead bodies were not buried properly. Now the third stanza, and the lines are, can he measure the grief of tears I weep? So here, can he measure the grief of tears is personification as well as it is a rhetorical question asked by motherland. Or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride of the thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer, and the far and sad glory vision I see, where far, sad and glorious, this is oxymoron, of the torn red banners of victory. Here the rhyming scheme used is AABBCC. In this stanza, Mother India talks to the foreign countries. All these are rhetoric questions. The poet is not asking for any answer. Here the answer is given within. So, can he measure means can you that means to say that you can never measure the grief of the tears I weep, means the sadness of the tears which I shed, which is full of sadness. You will never be able to measure it. A mother's sadness can never be measured. Or compass the woe of the watch I sleep, means you can never find out my anguish. Compass the woe of the watch I keep, where compass means the comprehend, woe means the feeling of great pain and sadness. These lines are quite moving and arouses the feeling of grief in us, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair. She is proud because her sons are not coward, whom she had sent to the war. They are brave, they are heroes. They are doing their duty, and that is why her heart swells with pride. But she is sad at their death, but at the same time she is proud because her sons have not let her down. They have done their job. They have brought glory to Mother India. And the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer means where anguish in prayer means pain in her heart while praying, and hope anguish means pain. Misery while praying the anguish she has, that please God keep them safe, but at the same time they do not bring any bad reputation. They are not coward and they do their duties well. So there is a hope. She hopes while praying that they will come back safe. And the far sad glorious vision I see of the torn sad banners of victory. In these lines, Mother India says, and a faraway vision means a vision of free India. Sad glorious vision refers to her vision of true freedom, which India would attain from the Britishers. But it is sad because it would also result in the loss of lives of many Indian soldiers. Torn red banners of victory means victory gained at the cost of Indian soldiers' blood. So just see the oxymoron, sad and glorious. Sad because the vision which she sees of a free India, there also lot of blood of her sons will be shed. So victory will be achieved through lot of bloodshed. So her vision is both glorious and sad. The word banners signifies that a successful war of independence will be waged by Indian against the British, and for which she feels glorious, but at the same time, she feels sad as many soldiers will fight who were going to die, so at the cost of their sacrifice, victory will be achieved. Now, the fourth stanza and the last stanza, and the lines are: when the terror and the tumult of hate shall cease, and life be fashion of the anvils of peace, and your love shall offer memorial thanks to the comrades who fought in your dauntless ranks, and you honor the needs of the deathless ones. Remember the blood of my martyred son, where remember the blood is a personification. And in these lines, the poet has used the rhyming scheme of AA, BB, CC. So, in this last stanza of the poem, Mother India talks about the ensuing peace after the war and the martyrdom of the countless soldiers. So, this is a mother's earnest wish, plea, that when war will end, their hatred, disorder, they will all come to an end, and life again will be refashioned in a peaceful manner. The word tumult means the state of noisy confusion. Cease refers to end. Anvil means heavy iron blocks on which heated metal is shaped by hitting it with a hammer. And life will be refashioned, and anvils of peace means just as on anvil a metal is shaped, similarly once the pain and suffering gets over, life will be refashioned and filled with peace. So Mother India hopes that one day terror and hate shall come to an end, and it is then that life will be remodeled with newfound peace. She demands only one thing from the Britishers, that they will offer thanks and respect to the soldiers who fought so valiantly. They should remember the brave soldiers of India who sacrificed their life. At the end, she says that the life will be refashioned in a peaceful manner, and then you shall honor all those soldiers who had fought bravely. So, when you honor your own brave soldiers, you don't forget the sacrifices made by my sons also. While trying to glorify your soldiers, your comrades, then don't forget the sacrifice, the heroism, the bravery of my soldiers, of my children, because they have also been martyred, so they have given their lives for your cause. Because of the British rule, they were forced to go and fight for them. So while remembering your soldiers, honor the Indian soldiers too, for the sacrifice made by them for your cause. So this is the appeal of a mother. This is a prayer of a mother, a wish of a mother, that the sacrifice of my martyred son should not be forgotten, the Indian soldiers who gave up their lives in the alien soil. Now, children, I'll tell you about the theme of the poem. Sarojini Naidu poetry is known for bringing out the depth of patriotism for her country, that is India. The poem personifies the country India as a mother who sorrowfully yet proudly laments the loss of her son in the First World War by the Britishers, who had deployed the Indian soldiers to the various parts of the country like Persia, Egypt, Belgium, and France. Nearly 75,000 Indian soldiers had died during the First World War, fighting with vigor and enthusiasm on alien lands. The bundles grief of Mother India for her heroic sons who were killed in the battlefield is mentioned in the poem. Mother India loves her sons and daughters just like a real mother does. There are two themes of the poem. The main theme is patriotism and the heroes and the horrors of war, or there is no glory in war. So the themes are patriotism. Throughout the poem, we find that Mother India, she is talking of the bravery of her soldiers, her son. They went to fight because she should be glorified and her son should not be thought to be cowards. The theme of patriotism is the most evident theme of the poem. It is a tribute to the martyred Indian soldiers who fought in the battlefield with full of vigor and enthusiasm and who sacrificed their life in different wars fought by the British during the First World War. In this poem, the poet has personified Mother India, who reminds the world of the priceless treasures that she has gifted to the world. Her heart bleeds for her sons who have shed their blood and sweat to protect the honor of motherland. But she is proud that the soldiers they fought bravely in the battlefield. The poet also portrays the dead soldiers gathered like pearls in their alien graves, the ruthless manner in which they have been killed and lying motionless like blossoms on blood tainted battlefield. As a true patriot, the poet wanted to see her country free from the shackles, free from the clutches of the British rule. Number two, there is no glory in war. In this poem, that is another theme is that there is no glory in war or the horrors of war. The image of the dead soldiers lying motionless with broken hands and severed limbs add a sad and pathetic note to those brave soldiers who fought in the First World War. They are denied of the proper respect and honor as they lie in the foreign lands. Their dead bodies lie scattered like shells on Egyptian sands, Persian Sea, Flanders in Belgium, and France. They lie colorless, lifeless, covered in blood, in the blood stained battlefield, in alien land where nobody knows them. So the poem portrays the ruthlessness, savagery, and inhumanness of war. The war always leaves a devastation and destruction of life, and nothing great is achieved through war. The brave soldiers loses their lives and leaves other winning with their bloodshed. So Mother India wishes that the sacrifice made by her son should not be forgotten. Now the poetic device. The gift of India is a tribute to the Indian soldiers who fought many battles to honor the country's pride, in which Mother India says about the loyalty, strength, and devotion of her sons. The poet arouses the spirit of nationalism among the Indian soldiers. The poem contains mirth and poetic devices, and they are: number one is simile. Simile is a figure of speech in which there is a comparison between two different things using the words as or like. The simile used in the poem are gathered like pearls in their alien graves, scattered like shells on Egyptian sand. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance. Number two, metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech in which a comparison between two different things is implied and not clearly stated. And the lines from the stanza is: number one, priceless treasures torn from my breast, where the Indian soldiers are compared to priceless treasures. Number three, personification. Personification is a figure of speech in which an inanimate object or abstract ideas are invested with the attributes of the living being. The poem runs on a series of personified images where country India is endowed with the attributes and feelings of mother. The lines are: number 1, priceless treasures drawn from my breast, where India as a mother calls the Indian soldiers as priceless treasures torn from her breast. Number 2, is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Where Mother India asks the British if they are and more sacrifices left for her to make. She has given the world rich gifts of clothes, food, grains, and precious things like gold. Number 3, can he measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep? Where Mother India's griefs at a loss of her son is immeasurable. The grief tears her part when she watches the loss of her martyred son. Number 4, remember the blood of her martyred sons, where Mother India asks the people to respect and honor the deeds of her martyred son, who fought so bravely and sacrificed their life. Number 4, alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which there is a close repetition of consonant sounds, usually at the beginning of the words, in a sentence, and the lines are: silent they keep where S sound is heard, scattered like shells where S sound is heard, they lie with pale brows and brave, broken hearts where B sound is heard. Number 5, oxymoron. Oxymoron is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction, that is, they appear together in a sentence, and the line is: and the far sad glories vision I see, where sad refers to the sacrifice made by the Indian soldiers on account of glorious vision, means to free India from the clutches of the Britishers, is an oxymoron. Number 6, rhetorical questions is a question asked in order to create a dramatic effect or to make a point rather than to get an answer. And the line is: can he measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep? This rhetoric question, and the poet is not asking for any answer. Here the answer is given within, which means you can never measure the grief or the sadness of the tears which I shed. A mother's sadness can never be measured. So, dear children, you should prepare the title, theme, poetic devices, and the critical analysis of the poem very well for your exam. Answer only what is asked in a very neat handwriting. Understand each word of the poem, and then only you will be able to answer the questions in a perfect manner. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Hope this video will be helpful for you in your exam. Thank you.